So there's this new kind of money-making waves all over the world. Digital money. It's really got people talking. And today was to dig into what it's all about. Like, what are the foundations of this thing?
Yeah, it's been pretty fascinating to look into. We've got some background on it. And I think our goal is to kind of distill it down. Like, what are the main ideas? How does it work? And why is it so interesting to so many people? I think we can give everyone listening a good sense of the basics.
Yeah, totally. So, okay, let's just jump right in. What is this digital money at its core?
Well, at a very basic level, it's currency, but it only exists digitally. And I think what's really important is how it's different from the money we're all used to. Like the money you have in your bank account, this doesn't have a central authority, like a government or a bank controlling it. Instead, it's what we call decentralized.
Decentralized. That's a key idea here.
Yeah.
And this all started back in 2009, right? With this mysterious creator, or maybe it was a group of people. They call themselves Satoshi Nakamoto. Do we know anything about what they were trying to do? What was their vision?
The idea was to create a financial system that was secure and transparent. But the big thing was it wouldn't be controlled by governments. They wanted to give people a kind of money that they could exchange directly with each other, anywhere in the world. And by cutting out the middlemen, like banks, it makes things more efficient. And this is all possible because it's digital. So yeah, these global peer-to-peer exchanges are a big part of it.
So it's digital and it streamlines things, but how does it actually work? I mean, what's the technology behind it all?
It's all built on something called blockchain. So picture this. Imagine like a giant open record book, a ledger that keeps track of every single transaction made with this digital currency. And this ledger isn't kept in one place. It's spread across a huge network of computers all around the globe. So think of it as the shared, constantly updated public record.
A globally distributed public record, huh? So that means it's pretty open, right? But walk me through how a transaction actually gets recorded and added to this chain.
Okay, so when someone makes a transaction, it gets grouped together with other recent transactions. We call this a block. And then this block of transactions is checked out by all the computers on the network. It's all done through this really cool cryptographic validation process. And once it's verified, the block is permanently added to the chain of blocks that already exist. That's where the name blockchain comes from. And the way it's added makes it almost impossible to tamper with any of the old records.
Wow, so every transaction is out in the open.
Nah.
But what about privacy? I mean, people probably don't want their entire financial history out there for everyone to see.
That's a really important point. While the transactions themselves are public, the identities of the people involved aren't directly linked. The system uses these things called cryptographic addresses. They're like digital nicknames. So it actually offers a lot more privacy than traditional banking, where every transaction is tied to your name and account number.
Interesting. So transparent transactions, but private identities. You mentioned security earlier.
Yeah.
But how does this decentralized system stay reliable without a bank or some other institution in charge?
The security comes from the fact that once a block is added to the blockchain and confirmed, it's incredibly hard to change it. It's practically tamper-proof. So this shared record keeping combined with some very powerful cryptographic security measures really builds trust in the system. Even though there isn't a central authority watching over everything, it's kind of amazing that the transparency and distributed nature actually make it so secure.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So let's say someone wants to get in on this. How do they actually get their hands on some of this digital currency?
The most common way is through what we call cryptocurrency exchanges. They're these online platforms. You create an account, deposit regular money, and then you can exchange it for this digital currency. There are a bunch of well-known exchange platforms that can help you do this.
Right. And there's also something called mining. Is that
Uh-huh.
another way to get it?
Yeah, mining is definitely another way. But it's way more technical and honestly not very easy for the average person to get into. It involves using really powerful computers to solve these complicated math problems. And this process is super important because it's what verifies transactions and adds new blocks to the blockchain, so it keeps the whole network secure. And as a reward for all this work, the miners get new units of the digital currency. But it takes a lot of computer power and uses a ton of energy. So for most people just starting out, it's much easier to just buy it through an exchange.
So purchasing through an exchange seems like the way to go for beginners. But once you have this digital currency, where do you keep it? It's not like you can just stick it in your wallet.
Exactly. You need something called a crypto wallet. They're basically digital tools, either software or hardware, that let you manage your digital money and interact with the blockchain. Now, the interesting thing is there are two main types: hot wallets and cold wallets.
Hot and cold
Yes.
wallets. I'm guessing that
Nice.
has something to do with whether they're connected to the internet or not.
You got it. Hot wallets are connected to the internet. They're usually in the form of apps on your phone, desktop software, or websites. They're really convenient for people who are making transactions all the time. But because they're online, they're a bit more vulnerable to hackers and other cyber threats.
So you trade some security for ease of use. What about these cold wallets?
Cold wallets are offline. So think like a physical device like a USB stick that's specifically designed to store cryptocurrency. Or you could even just write your private keys down and store them somewhere safe offline. Your private keys are basically the digital passwords you need to access your digital currency. And because cold wallets aren't connected to the internet, they're considered the safest way to store your digital currency, especially if you have a lot of it.
Okay, so hot wallets for easy access and cold wallets for maximum security.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why is this digital money so popular? Why are so many people interested in it and investing in it?
Well, there are a few big reasons. One is that there's only a limited amount of it, like we talked about earlier. There's a fixed number of units that will ever be created. And this scarcity makes it valuable. It's kind of like digital gold, a limited asset in the digital world that can hold its value.
Digital gold. That's a really cool way to think about it.
Right.
What else makes it attractive to people?
The privacy thing we talked about is another draw for some people. While it's not completely anonymous, using those cryptographic addresses gives you more financial privacy than traditional banking systems. Plus, some people see it as a way to protect themselves from inflation. You know how governments can print more money and that can cause prices to go up? Well, this digital currency is limited, so some people see it as a hedge against that.
So scarcity, privacy, and a potential hedge against inflation.
Yeah.
That definitely explains why people are excited about it. But just like anything else in finance, there have to be some risks. What are the things people should watch out for?
Oh, absolutely. You always have to understand the risks. And one of the biggest ones is the volatility. The value of this digital currency can go up and down really quickly and dramatically, unlike a regular savings account where things tend to stay pretty stable. So, yeah, you could make a lot of money, but you could also lose a lot in a short amount of time.
Volatility is definitely something to keep in mind. What other risks are there?
Well, there's also the security risk of managing your digital wallet. If you lose your private keys, which are like the passwords to your funds, or if someone hacks your wallet, you're in trouble. There's usually no way to recover your money, unlike if you forget your bank account password.
Yeah.
Because it's all decentralized, there's no central authority to help you get your money back.
So it's really important to be careful and take security seriously. What's the bottom line here? What should people take away from all of this?
I think the main takeaway is that this digital currency is a truly revolutionary technology. It has the potential to change how we think about money and finance in a big way. But you have to go into it with open eyes. You need to understand how it works and what the risks are. Do your research. And only invest what you can afford to lose. Because you never know what might happen with the volatility.
So it's potentially a game changer, but you have to be smart about it.
Exactly. Be informed and make responsible choices. That's the key.
This has been a fascinating look into this new kind of digital money we've talked about a lot. You know how it's decentralized, the importance of blockchain, how to get it, how to store it, why people are so interested in it, and also the risks involved.
Yeah, we really covered the basics and some of the forces that are making it so important in the financial world.
And it leaves us with something to think about. Considering all this and the impact it could have, how might the continued development of these digital assets change our financial systems in the future? And how will it affect individuals? It's definitely something worth exploring further and thinking critically about.